Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome inside King Track and Field Stadium. I'm Carson Watkins, joined by Kyle Shaw. And Kyle, we got a good one on tap today.
Yeah, really looking forward to this clash today between the Foresters and the Cougars. Just hoping to see some good midfield play today, and these teams have had a great history, so just looking forward for a great match today.
Absolutely. The Foresters have actually been able to have a little bit of a win streak on the Cougars. Last year they beat them at King 7-0. It was a cold October day, so a little bit lucky to have some nicer weather today. And then in about mid-November, the Foresters were able to serve a first-round exit of the conference tourney to the Cougars. So this Cougar team is obviously hungry for a win against the Foresters here in King.
Yeah, the Foresters have obviously had the better record in this matchup over the past year or so. But St. Francis comes into this game the team in form with a 3-1-1 record compared to the Foresters 1-0-2 after two straight overtime ties for the Foresters.
100%. That has to be demoralizing to the team. I remember during the Marion game, it seemed like, Marion was pretty excited. Even they weren't able to collect their first win, but it was a tie. And so they were a little bit disappointed, to say the least, that they couldn't quite finish the job there. But Marion seemed a little bit more joyful. So I imagine those two straight ties have been a little bit of a morale loss for the Foresters as a whole. And so a win today would be huge for them.
Yeah, certainly looking to break that cycle of ties. We want to get a win today, get themselves the points, get themselves ahead in the conference standings.
And the other thing that go along with that, as you mentioned, the conference standings, this year the Crossroads League decided to divide the soccer teams in the Cross and Roads division. The Foresters and the Cougars are both in the Cross division, if I'm not mistaken. And right now the Cougars are sitting on top, but the Foresters are in second. They've played the same amount of games, but those Forester 2 ties have kind of slowed them down a little bit, knocking in the 3 out of 5, which is going to be really interesting to see how that works in seeding come tourney time.
Yeah, really gives some extra motivation to the Foresters tonight, to give them that extra bit of motivation to come out and play hard.
Those 2 ties. But another thing to do remember is that the former regular season champions in the Spring Arbor Cougars actually did also come out with 2 ties last year. So it's not unprecedented, but it's going to be a little bit of a challenge, especially with the shortened season this year.
Yeah, and if we know anything about the Foresters, that regardless of the regular season, they always show up for the tournament.
100%, 2 straight Crossroads League tournament wins, and we're just going to see what they can do. Obviously, for the Foresters, it's going to be back to the basics. They're going to need to protect that goal, and we know that Gabe Greenfield can do it, but a little bit of help from the defense will ease the pressure and avoid another overtime tie.
Yeah, another point of contention today for the Foresters is the loss of a few wingers in the last couple games, so you're looking to see if the new boys they bring in can really do the business for them.
It is going to be really interesting, and I think Coach Lawson has done an incredible job in recruiting the last couple of years, and it's a good selling point with 2 straight conference tourneys and national tourney appearances, and it helps out his recruiting a lot. So hopefully these young guys, and they've been playing quite well in JV. Let's see how they step up at the next level. So we're getting the starting lineups right now, so we're going to be really exciting to see that. And we're going to be back here just momentarily after the national anthem for the start of this one. Carson Watkins, Kyle Shaw will be back momentarily.
This is how we like to do it. This is how we like to do it.
And welcome back inside King Track and Field Stadium. The team's getting ready here. Now, Kyle, I think one thing to also take a note of is you mentioned in the pregame show that the Force had to call up a couple of kids from the JV team after a couple injuries to the wingers. And this is a starting 11 that looks a little bit different from last year. So what do you think needs to happen for the Foresters to click today, especially with some new moving pieces?
Well, since the offense is kind of taking a hit with injuries, it's going to be important for the midfield to dominate possession in this game, give them as many opportunities as they can for the offense to get some chances at goal, because it all starts from that creative midfield that we have. The three midfielders are work hard and do a good job of making space to create passes for the midfield.
Yeah, the Foresters are also going to have to watch out for those interceptions. That was another big problem for them against Marion last week. They couldn't. It seemed to be a game of possession. There'd be a handful of times where one team would have possession, another time where another team would, have possession for just a long time, and it kind of, got the goalkeepers intense and they out of the game. And
yeah, Foresters will be hoping to repeat their history against St. Francis and control the midfield. As the game gets underway, St. Francis boots the ball long right off the bat. A couple of forwards chasing after it. As Hunter Jackson lets it right out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick to the Foresters.
Incredibly interesting strategy for them to go straight for the goal right away. Instead of trying to play, like you said, the midfield, they just decided to shoot it right towards the goal box. The Forester defense was ready.
Yeah, sometimes it's worth it to try and catch the defense off guard off the bat and try and get it over the top for a winger to get onto the ball. Didn't work out from that time, though. Gabe Grimfield kicks it long. Stanford looks to head the ball, loses out. Back to Stanford in the middle, plays it across to Lighton. Actually hits the referee, makes it a drop ball. Back to Forester possession.
It's going to be interesting to see what Stanford does here. Now that he has like you said, a drop ball free kick, is he going to try to launch this one towards the goal? Or I think I've seen a couple times that they just kind of play it around to the defense, and that's what they do right there.
Looking like they're just going to keep possession and play it back between the center backs. Back up to the midfield, out wide with Hunter Jackson, finds Pablo in the middle. Plays the ball through to Garcia. Now, but the goalkeeper can collect it for the Cougars. Both teams moving back, waiting for this drop kick. Goalie sends it high and long down the center of the field. And uncontested, the center forward gets the possession. Back into the midfield, one back by number 14. Alexander draws a foul for the Foresters. Looks like he'll take it himself, or maybe Lighton will.
One thing to notice is that Alexander is still wearing that knee brace. He had to wear it for a handful of games. It's going to slow down his mobility a little bit. And you saw him kind of grab his leg there after he fell. So it's going to have to be especially crucial that he stays healthy in this game with all the injuries that are already taking place.
Yeah, they're going to have to hope that his long-term injury doesn't come back to affect him here. He's been struggling with it all season, but he seems to have recovered well in the last couple games. It's a goal kick for the Cougars. couple of defenders line up under the ball. Jackson wins out the header, and Dice is there to clean up the second ball. Once again, Francis is going with the large kicks over the top, trying to get in behind the defense, but find that one to go out of bounds again.
Forester defense playing incredibly tough, too, recognizing those long kicks and avoiding a one-on-one with Greenfield.
Yep. Back in the midfield, St. Francis on the ball. Cuts it back, plays it back to his center back. Just looking to keep possession here. Tries to pull a move on the winger, ends up losing out, but they keep possession.
Lots of chatter from the benches there watching. It's always good to have, your blind side from the bench be covered.
Oh, and Huntington wins the ball high up the field, looking to progress quickly. But St. Francis wins it back, and now they're on the counter. Foul there from Noah Stanford.
Very interesting. The entire bench was yelling about when Alexander went down, it played on. But after Stanford knocked that player down, they decided to stop play. I think they wanted to make a message here early that that's not going to fly.
Yeah, ref's going to try and put his message to the players and make sure that they know what's going to stand in this game, what's not. Good early work from the referee there. Center back for St. Francis lines up for this free kick. Everyone else lined up in the box waiting for the ball. Plays it long and just sails its way out of bounds. Goal kick to the Foresters.
Good read there by the Foresters. The Cougars started moving around all around the box trying to catch someone off guard. The free kick was just not there.
Yeah, the Foresters did a good job holding their line, making sure that anyone that went past them would have been offsides for that free kick. Free kick for Greenfield here. Alexander under the ball, loses out. And St. Francis gets the call against them, pushing the back on Noah Alexander there.
Bench incredibly confused on that one, but play continues on.
Yeah, they seem to be questioning a lot of the calls already, but that's just going to happen in these kind of games.
Absolutely. I think St. Francis, they lost to as I mentioned before, they lost to the Foresters last year 7-0. That had to be a awkward 45 or so minute ride back to campus in Fort Wayne, but I think that's something that they want to avoid. And even grabbing a win, even if they lose, hopefully not giving up another 7.
Yeah, that'll be one to show some passion today, make sure that doesn't happen again. As the goalkeeper for St. Francis puts the ball in the midfield. Camden Dice does a good job winning the header. It's being chased down, and the defender plays it out of bounds.
Very interesting strategy by him just to kind of knock that and just slow that Forester attack down.
Yeah, it looks as though he felt like he was isolated, didn't want to have to take on that attacker alone. Just played it out of bounds, give him a chance to reset. Camden Dice with the long throw, plays it short. Noah Alexander plays it off the face of the defender. A little scrappy, ends up putting the ball in. Goes all the way across to Eric Ocock. Drops it back to Hunter Jackson, who scuffs the cross in, but still kept alive by Noah Stanford. Dribbling through the box, finds Garcia. Ooh, puts a shot wide. Close call on that one. That'll be a goal kick to the Cougars.
That was a good read by him. He saw that little open space, but just unfortunately did not have a good read on the actual mechanics of his kick.
Yeah.
And let that one fly to the left.
Yeah, Garcia, you don't have to give him a second opportunity to shoot the ball. He's going to want to shoot it every chance he gets at the sight at goal. Played long in the midfield. Dice doing another good job of winning the ball there. Plays it up to Alexander. Gets swarmed by a couple defenders, but works his way out. Drops it back to James, who's carrying the ball well. Plays it up to Pablo Garcia, who looks for a ball over the top to Ocock, who ends up being offsides. Players will drop in for a free kick here from the center back. Low ball, doesn't get very high. Lighton can pick it out. Plays it out wide to Ocock right away, but a little bit too much on it. Ends up going out of bounds.
It's really interesting to see that both teams are kind of playing this low ball type of game. Against Marion, the ball was almost in the air about the entire game. So now I wonder if that might have been a strategy for Coach Lawson to say, hey, we're playing the ball high too much. Let's lower it a little bit and have a little bit more possession time.
Yeah, it's always good to keep it low, more control, but every once in a while if you see the opportunity to play it over the top, it's good to try it. Garcia on the ball here, tries a little flick, ends up losing out to the defender, and ends up out of bounds for a Huntington throw-in. Opposition bench isn't happy with that throw. Might have seen something illegal. But Huntington moves on. Ball in the midfield, standing loose out. Played all the way back to the St. Francis center back, who then once again plays the ball long. Really looking to play the ball up to that forward, get it in there early so that they can then take possession higher up the field. But Huntington center backs pick that one out, are in possession again. I'm just going to swing the ball across the back line here. Dribbling forward is our center back. Finds Noah Alexander, then finds some space, but it gets cut out by the center back from St. Francis. Plays another long ball over the top, finds the winger this time. He's got a run at goal. Cuts it inside with a good shot. Ooh, good save by Greenfield to push it out wide. And then a foul against Camden Dice inside the HU penalty box. That'll be Freeman's free kick now. Plays it short to Erlinson. He's going to carry it up. To play it wide here to Dice, back to Erlinson. He's going to swing it across to the other side, look for some space on the far side of the field. Where he finds Hunter Jackson. Long ball looking for Garcia, which it looks like he might be caught up there by the St. Francis center back. Ends up traveling out of bounds for a throw-in. Okak on the ball now, dribbling into space. Finds Alexander, who sprays the ball out to the... It gets cut off by the St. Francis center back, who quickly turns the ball forward. With an offsides call against the St. Francis forward.
I think one thing that we've seen from this game so far, and I think we saw it a lot during the last game, is that Gabe Greenfield is tending to move out of the box quite a bit, and I think it's going to be really interesting to see because he's really confident in his ability to get back into the goal if he needs to, but playing outside the box can get risky, especially if a St. Francis striker thinks they can just launch one over his head before he can get there. So it's going to be really interesting to see if he's going to stay out there or just move back into the goal.
Yeah, Greenfield is pretty confident with the ball at his feet, more than most goalies, but you know, every once in a while that leads to a mistake. And when it's the goalie making the mistake, it's more likely to lead to a goal. But Alexander on the ball now finds Lighton, sprays it out wide to Hunter Jackson, who has some space on that left-hand side. It quickly gets cut off. Ends up out of bounds for a St. Francis throw. Pedretti throws the ball in. Ends up being a foul against Hunter Jackson. Have a free kick in their own half.
We've seen a lot of these games in the Crossroads League especially. I know that almost every team in this league can be considered rivals just because of, the small school propensity, I think 8 out of the 10 or so teams in the Crossroads League are from Indiana, with the exception of Spring Arbor and Mount Vernon. And so, the close proximity to each other and all that, I think a lot of people, it gets really chippy in these games, and it's really fun to watch.
Yeah, it always adds a little bit of extra flair to these games when the teams are so close together. Noah Alexander gets some space in the midfield, just running quickly down there, finds Garcia, plays it out wide. Gets by the goalkeeper, off the post, and cleared out of bounds by St. Francis. Good opportunity there for Keegan Lee on the wing.
Oh, that was, I think you heard a collective gasp here in the stands. And, I think everyone saw that one. The Forces are going to get lucky with a corner here, in which they've been very fortunate on. But what a roll, what a lucky break for St. Francis to watch that one just barely tap off the bar.
Yeah, it wasn't the most powerful shot, but got around the goalkeeper and ended up just going wide. Now it's Okak here on the corner kick. Plays the ball in. And a punch from the goalkeeper. Puts it out for another goal or another corner kick. Good work by Caleb Spencer, the sophomore goalkeeper.
We saw him get a lot of time last year here at King in the goal, so we know that this coaching staff has a lot of faith in him.
Yep, another ball in here. Goes all the way across, and they let it trickle out for a goal kick.
saw a couple Foresters hit the grass there. No call, but I think another thing that I've made an observation about is that it appears that St. Francis is going to let other players take these goal kicks, and I think this player just has a much powerful leg than their goalkeeper must, and he's doing a great job.
Yep. Every once in a while you'll get a goalkeeper who doesn't have as much of a boot on him as a center back, so you let him take the goal kicks and longer kicks instead of your goalie. Foul there against Lee for the Foresters.
They definitely got wrapped up there, and he spun him to the ground, so good call from him.
Yeah, and this is a free kick in a dangerous position now as the St. Francis Cougars get lined up outside the enemy box. Look to get ahead on this one towards goal.
Getting instructions from the official now to where to set it. We've already seen him, how much of a boot he has, and that's why he's taking those goal kicks.
Yeah, this will be Martinez putting the ball in. Puts it more towards the left side and ends up going past all the opposition players right to Gabe Greenfield.
Good read there by Greenfield, too.
Immediately rolls it out to Keegan Lee, who looks to cross the field, find Eric Ocock, ends up going right back to the defender. Good clear there by Vigario. That ends up being a Forster throw in high up the field. Finds Garcia. Backs into his defender, finds Ocock out wide again. Looking for a cross. Cleared out by the defenders, and now it's St. Francis' ball, looking to get out of the space. And another long ball, but straight to the right back for Huntington. Nice little flick by Lee. Ends up trickling to the goalkeeper, though.
Garcia is a JUCO transfer, and I think the Foresters are just really lucky to have him. He's been a prolific goal scorer, only about 4 games in. So I think he's a good foundation for the future of this Forester squad.
Yeah, being only a sophomore, he's such a goal threat all the time. It'll be nice to have him around for the next couple of years, hopefully. As this ball is played wide, have some space out here for Kunze. Tries to get around Dice, but can't do it. Ends up choking out of bounds for a goal kick.
Couple people calling for a corner. They're not going to get it.
Well, Greenfield looks to line up this goal kick.
That's the other thing about Greenfield. We know he has, I think, the boot among all boots. I mean, if he got a good start, he could probably launch that thing about the entire field.
Yeah, obviously he's clearing halfway line with each kick. Good tussle there between Stanford. Ends up coming out to Camden Dice. Now it's up the field, played down the wing, it gets cut off. Still possession for the St. Francis Cougars, though. Good work there from Vaidez, finds the midfielder. Now Guerrero looks to spray it out wide, but can't find him. Back to Layton, who finds Ocock again. And that's a foul against the Cougars. Looks like James Layton has gone down now, might have taken a bad nick from that challenge. But he seems to be getting up. Just a little rattle, I guess. Greenfield will take over this free kick now.
Greenfield's obviously going to, unless he kicks it short, he's going to send this one near the goal box. Actually, he will just send it short.
Yeah, just passed it short to the Erlandson, puts it out wide to Dice. Lee on the ball now. Starts going to the center of the field, and Layton ends up clearing it out, maybe looking to catch the goalie off guard, but put it off target by quite a ways.
I think that entered the box there.
Yeah, every once in a while you'll spray one off to the side and it doesn't go exactly where you want it, and you get something like that. But now it'll be a goal kick again for St. Francis, and Martinez will take it from the goalie once again. Short ball, won by Alexander, but right out of bounds. So it'll be back to St. Francis' ball again. Looks to be a position swap there from two St. Francis players, Vaidez and Moldando. That's not Moldando. That's somebody else. Long throw there. 2 Foresters up for that one. End up winning it. Back to Erlandson. Out wide again for Dice. Plays a long ball. Flicked on by Noah Alexander. Chased down by Pablo Garcia, but ends up losing out.
Garcia maybe just couldn't find an extra gear there to speed up around the defender, but Forrester's still lucky to have possession.
Yep. Back now to Josh Jones. Plays it. Ooh, nice little move there. Looked like he was going to play the ball. Ends up spraying it out wide here to Keegan Lee. Brings it down nicely. Takes on his defender. Finds Noah Alexander. Drops it in here to Dice. Plays it back once again to Erlinson. Surveying the field here. Ends up dropping it all the way back to Greenfield. Then chips it back over to Camden Dice. Flicks on to Keegan Lee. Another flick to Noah Alexander. Great build-up play. Back wide. Keegan Lee looks to the middle. Ooh, and good save. Back post run. Oh, crucial intervention there from the right back. Okak was ready to spring onto that loose ball and put it into an empty net after Pablo Garcia puts it past the goalkeeper, Connor Spencer.
I wasn't sure if Garcia was shoved or not. That was what was really interesting. I was going to see if there was going to be a call coming, but it didn't come. But this goal, once again, this corner, very important for the Foresters.
Yeah, there was a little contact on Garcia, but I don't think it was enough for the ref to warrant a call. Ball played in, back post. Oh, off the post again, another kick. Oh, and it ends up trickling out of bounds for a goal kick. The third time the Foresters have found that left post. The St. Francis can find themselves a little bit lucky.
Unlucky break for the Foresters yet again.
That was a nice ball into the back post, and the two Foresters looked like they got ahead to it there. Trickled over to that far post, but couldn't turn it in the end. Martinez lines up for another goal kick. Can't make it past the midfield, but it still trickles up to their center forward, who boots it long. Once again, Erlinson there to clean up. Takes it wide. Cuts it back. Finds Greenfield. Who scuffs his kick, ends up putting it right back to the St. Francis midfielder, who then loses it once again to James Layton. Searching ball. Can't find anyone with that one. Ends up back to the goalkeeper. Spencer will look to put this one long, try to find his forward up at the very top. It's a nice long kick. See if they can bring it down.
He has a good boo apparently when it's not on the ground, so I think he has a little bit of a different run, different kick style than I've seen. We see Greenfield kind of with a side foot. He grabs it with his toe when he kicks it up.
Yeah, more of a different technique from Greenfield. He likes to keep it lower and flatter, but maybe sacrifice some power for some more accuracy. Lighten on the ball. Plays it back to Josh Jones, who's going to spray it out here wide to Keegan Lee. A little bit of a missed kick, finds its way to Dice. Lee on the ball now. Plays it all the way back to Erlinson. Surveys the field. Looks for Eric Okak on the wide side. It is cleared nicely by the outside back for St. Francis. Ends up for a Huntington throw-in out there on that far side, right in front of the opposition bench. Not a fun place to be.
Putting it into American football terms, I think Gabe Greenfield more has like a kicker, like a actual kicker style, and Spencer has a little bit more of a punter style of kick.
I would agree. Noah Stanford looks to play the ball all the way across, gets cut out. Some contact there on Keegan Lee. Earns himself a free kick in a dangerous position. Pablo Garcia walks over to take the ball. He's going to want to swing this one into the back post with that curling right foot of his.
We're going to have to watch. Apparently, I think there might be a magnet on that left post today, so let's see how he plays it.
Chips the ball into the back post. Jumbles around. Dice wins the ball, puts it back in the center, but it finds its way out again. And it is cleared out to Noah Alexander on the outside of the box. Little jostle for the ball. Alexander comes out with it again in a good spot. Skips by a defender, takes a shot, but it's right at Spencer. Might have been finding that left post again if he hadn't touched it. Spencer now looks down the field as the St. Francis gets down there. A high towering kick. Let's see if anyone can bring this one down. Erlinson comes out with it, plays it out wide to Stanny. Now Lee on the ball.
I think you said it quite well. I think he's suffering power for accuracy, which is what Greenfield's not doing, and that's why you see Greenfield's kicks falling into the legs of Foresters in the Cougars' kicks keep tending to fall up to Foresters once again.
Yeah, Greenfield kicks tend to have a little bit more spin on them, but they're easier to control as they're not so high in the air. Garcia skids by a defender, falls to Stanford, finds Lighton on the left side. Switches it back out to the right to Lee. See if he can put in a cross. Finds Stanford and then, O'Cock gets his shot saved, not wide again.
Truthfully, I didn't even notice that it hit Spencer's hands, but the Foresters have had unlucky break after unlucky break after unlucky break on these corners. Let's see if this is finally the one they need.
Yeah, O'Cock goes out to take this corner after putting the shot wide after it being saved. See what he can do with this. That track doesn't give him much of a run up. Still gets a high ball in. It's won by Hunter Jackson, but he can only flick it wide. St. Francis will look to catch him out on the break here. Alexander doing some good defensive work until that foul there. This will give St. Francis the chance to get some numbers forward. Looks like a sub's about to come in here for St. Francis. Looks to be number 17, Nicholas Cachia. Long ball, looks like the wind is taking that one, making it lose some distance. Comes out to Eric O'Cock, who gets swarmed then by defenders. And a good interception there by Josh Jones to keep the ball from getting into their enemy box. And O'Cock plays it off the winger to earn himself a corner kick way down in the Forester half of the field.
This throw-in is crucial here. Is it going to be... Looked like he was going for the throw-in, but he's going to move that one back to the corner. So
plays it long to Alexander. The ball gets played high in the air for Stanford. Heads it up to Garcia. Looks to get past his defender and does so. He's going to look to blow by his defender with pace, but gets caught up with. Still maintains the ball though. Picks his head up, looking for a pass. Finds Lee, who then is forced backwards. And then a clear by St. Francis puts it out to Camden Dice. Plays it to Josh Erlinson all the way back. Up to Stanford. Lets the ball go through his legs, but no one was there behind him to get onto the ball. Trickles right to Spencer.
I think one thing about this game that's incredibly exciting is the significance of it. We mentioned how some of these rivalries in the Crossroads League span. The Foresters and the Cougars played each other for the first time back in 2006, and the Foresters lost 3-0. The longest win streak for the Foresters is continuing right now. It's been 3 straight games, and the longest losing streak for the Foresters have also been 3 straight games. And right now, the overall series is 7-7-1. So whoever wins today, barring a tie, we're seeing someone take the lead in this overall series.
Yeah, a little bit of extra emotion there, motivate the players to play harder as Martinez lines up for another free kick. He'll look to send long into the Forester box.
One thing to point out, though, is that the Foresters are 5-2 here at King Track and Field Stadium.
Yeah, their home record, they've really turned this place into kind of a fortress, and it's been really tough for enemy teams to come in here and get some points away from these games. The ball comes out here to the midfield for St. Francis, and a long shot put wide. That'll be an easy free kick or goal kick there for Greenfield.
Our goalkeepers are getting the rest a little bit today, which is I think they're appreciating. A lot of goals not coming into their box as they're going wide or even hitting the post.
Yeah, St. Francis I think is yet to register a shot on target, so Greenfield's had kind of an easy night, but still getting those passes back in. He's got to focus up. Plays it long and ends up getting cleared out there by Pedretti. Hunter Jackson will look to take this throw in here. Just waiting for a ball from one of our fantastic ball boys that we have here. Plays it back to Josh Jones. Looks to cross the field to Erlinson. And right back to Jones. Takes the ball up, looking for someone in the midfield, but gets cut off. But loses that again. Garcia on the ball now. Plays it wide to Lee. Making another dashing run through is Garcia, but the ball is just a little bit too heavy for him. Ends its way out of bounds. Another goal kick here for St. Francis.
Cougars just watched that one sail by. Might have been a good strategy instead of attempting to let a Forrester. Garcia knew he was going to be outside and just had to back off.
Yeah, every once in a while it may be good to pressure those kind of ones, try to force the defenders into a mistake, but Garcia decided against that this one probably because of his offside position. Martinez with another long kick. Doesn't get it that high, but it's flicked on by Ramirez out here to 25 or 28 here. But he loses out to Dice, who then plays it up to Lee. Flicks it on. Another flick from Noah Alexander. Lighton plays it out wide. Ooh, to Eric Okak, who just wasn't expecting the ball to get past his defender. And it ends up trickling out of bounds for a St. Francis throw in.
He said it really well. He wasn't expecting it, but unfortunately in this game you have to expect the unexpected with the lack of control you have over the ball.
Yeah, you never know if you take that chance and the ball gets through, then you're in on goal with no one there. But, you know, sometimes just that mental thing, if you think they're going to get it, you just slow down. It'll be a free kick now for St. Francis. Looks to whip in another ball. Haven't yet really challenged Gabe Greenfield's goal yet, but with this many free kicks they're getting, it might be about time that they'll get a shot on target here. The ball's played in. It's a jumble of legs in there. Can't really understand, but I think it's an offsides call against one of their forwards, and Greenfield will look to take this one quickly. Plays a long, high ball towards Garcia, who then loses out immediately to one of the defenders tracking back. Alexander's on the ball now. But it's cut out. And Dakin plays it forward just to get cut out once again by Josh Jones, but he gets the ball right back. Now Lighton wins the ball, plays it forward. Garcia just a little bit too far for him, doesn't have the second gear to get that one. Trickles out to Spencer, who's now going to pick it up and look forward for a long ball.
We're in the 30th minute with no goals. This has been a defensive battle through and through.
Yeah, definitely two teams that are looking to just get a scrappy goal in here as they're both kind of sitting deep and hoping to absorb some of this pressure from the other team. Okak now looking for a throw in. Plays it to Alexander, who starts it back to the defense. Doing a risky pass there. And another one, but it finds its way out to Camden Dice, who has some space now. Look forward. Plays it out to Garcia, but goes by him. Okak looking to pressure this ball before it heads out of bounds. It's a St. Francis throw, it looks like.
Substitutions now coming in.
A couple substitutions here. James Lighton will make way for Reed Burton. And Keegan Lee will make way. And then once change for the St. Francis as well. Looks like one of the defenders is hopping out of the game.
Jordan Morris just came into this one. I think one thing we've seen him kind of use as a gadget for this Forrester. He has the wheels that a lot of the other 21 players on this field don't have.
Yeah, it's always nice to have a player with that kind of speed where you know that he can get to the ball pretty much more wherever you put it. The key for him will be making sure he stays on side and doesn't start that run too early because he has the speed to get by all these defenders. The ball is played back here to the Njomo, goes in for a good tackle, ends up losing out. Cleared up here for Josh Jones, but St. Francis takes possession in the midfield, has some space on the left-hand side where they're going to play it, but it's just not far enough to get past the Huntington left back, or right back. Once again, St. Francis on the ball in the midfield. But now it's Huntington's ball again with Miller. Real scrappy game in the midfield. No one can seem to hold on to the ball for a couple passes. Burton comes out with it there, plays it to Stanford. Trips over the ball. All the way back to Erlinson. Gets a nice ball out to Miller. Takes control. Plays it through to Garcia. Loses out to the center back. And a foul against Dakin there against Noah Stanford. Erlinson will look to take this one now, play it wide.
Had to be incredibly careful there, and that's one thing that's scary about this game. You saw Stanford's leg kind of like bend a little bit when he fell on top of him. Got to be careful for those things, especially when you're playing at such a high speed as we do here in the Crossroads League.
Yeah, such a competitive game. You know, those hard challenges are always, you got to make sure you're not going in to injure the player, but every once in a while stuff like that happens, and you just got to hope for the best. Now it's a throw in here for Dakin for St. Francis, waiting for his teammates to get up the field. Probably want to throw there's a long throw into the box here, and he does so. Flicked on, but it comes back out here to Ramirez, who puts the ball back in. It's a little bit too long, ends up going out of bounds for yet another goal kick for the Foresters. Greenfield now surveying the field, looking to pick out the right pass.
He does have someone on the right side of the field, way out here, like wide open, but unfortunately the team will read that unless he can play it quite fast.
Another substitution here for the Cougars as Woodruff comes into the game. Greenfield plays it long, and Stanford looks to bring it down. Ends up getting held back, and another free kick looks to be taken quickly. But it looks like they'll leave it for one of the defenders now. Josh Jones will come up and take it.
Tried to catch the Cougars off guard, and the Cougars were right there in front of that kick.
Yeah. Oh, and a little scuffle off the ball. Looks as though two of the players got in a little scrap there and ended up going to ground. Ref comes over to sort things out. Having to clear some of the other players, trying to, I believe that's Stanford and Colantonio are the ones that were wrapped up. Looks to be a card out here, just don't know for who yet. Looks like Stanford and Colantonio are both getting a card. Have to watch out for that for the rest of the game, make sure they are a little bit more cautious.
Those two yellows, like I think you said it perfectly yourself, you don't want to, especially in the rule book, if you get a red, you have to set the next game out. That's just a very dangerous thing for this Forester squad. And I didn't even see, I was too focused on the free kick to even notice what happened, but Stanford was down for a few minutes.
Yeah. It's always interesting when you get some hard-nosed players like Colantonio and Stanford that get on yellow cards. Might change how they play. But we're back here to a free kick in midfield for Jones. Plays it short to Garcia. Takes on his defender, plays it out wide to Morris. Looking to use that speed.
And that's what I said about
Gets by the defenders to the byline, plays a ball, but it ends up going out of bounds before he can play it across. That'll be a goal kick to the Cougars.
And that's exactly what Morris does best. As he uses his size and his speed to his advantage.
Yeah, just that power is enough to get him by the defenders. It's hard to mark him when you can't. And he can just blow by you with pace or outmuscle you. Makes it really hard for a defender to deal with him.
Especially with about a 6-inch difference in height.
Yeah, that also is quite a challenge. Miller here on the ball now. Plays it over to out wide now to Morris. Going to use that pace again. And he does so. Plays it long to himself. Nice little move, but the defender's staying right on him. Ends up double teaming him and losing out. St. Francis looks to find a forward ball, but headed out there by Josh Jones with an interception. That'll be a St. Francis throw-in. Another substitution there for the Cougars as Arias comes into the game, freshman. Played to him. Gets tackled there by Burton. Loses out now, and Burton is now on the ball, looks to find Garcia, who's now surveying the options in front of him. Finds Miller out wide. One defender on him. Cuts it back to Garcia again at the top of the box. Looking for space, can't find it, and it gets cleared out. The long kick all the way out to Jackson at midfield. Nice little pass off his chest to his center back.
Great read by the Cougar defense there to recognize there was a couple. I think even Miller had a wide open shot, and the Cougar defense just hopped on it as soon as they could.
Ooh, a ball almost through there. Ends up being a little bit too long there to Greenfield. But yeah, I have to agree. Their defense has done really well today for the Cougars to snuff out any opportunities that the Foresters are looking to create. Ball comes back here to Jones. Ends up losing the ball in the midfield. Farron finds the ball out wide, but gets cut off there. Burton with an interception. Now it's St. Francis gets cut off there by Farron once again.
It did appear to hit his forearm there. I was gonna see if they called it or not. It was like barely there. You know,
Yeah.
another inch or two may have got away with it, but
Looked like the ball might have skipped off the grass funny there. Hard for him to read it. Ends up coming off his forearm. So now it'll be a free kick for St. Francis, and Martinez looks to be lining this one up again. We've seen him being able to do these long passes in for free kicks. We'll see if he goes for goal here. If he can keep that power down and under the bar.
it's also kind of there's 3 guys lined up there, so we're gonna see if they're gonna do like a little knot formation.
Yeah, it looks as though Vigario is going to try and hit it with his left, and then Martinez will be hitting it with his right. See which one of them ends up taking the kick.
Only a 3-man wall there, and Greenfield reads it perfectly.
Yep, Vigario tried playing it around the wall, just didn't get enough power on it. Such a long kick to try and go for goal, but
K. Greenfield barely had to break a sweat for that one.
out here to Miller. Good ball from Greenfield. Can't put it under control. Plays it back to Farron, who drops it into Burton. Now it's a Dice dropping all the way back. St. Francis doing a good job of applying that pressure, forcing the Foresters back into their defensive line. Ends up coming out here to Morris, though, who loses out. And then a long ball over the top. Looks to be on sides for 17 here, Kachia, but it just trickles its way out of bounds. Couldn't get there before it made its way out of bounds there. So it'll be another Huntington corner kick, or throw-in, I mean.
Couple substitutions now. Coach Lawson clearly getting some of the young blood out here, and especially some of the. There's a couple players who've played all 38 minutes of this so far.
Yeah, it looks like Howard's coming up top for Garcia, who's been running a lot up there, trying to create some chances in the forward line. We'll see if Howard's pace can affect this game as get a little bit of fresh legs out there. Now it's back to Greenfield, who's looking up the field. Finds a long ball all the way up to Howard. Takes control. Can't find his midfielder, but Burton wins it back anyways. Now, tried to play it with the outside of his right foot there. Just a little bit of a miss-hit to try and find Morris. Ends up going out of bounds. Martinez will take this throw now, looking for upfield for one of his midfielders. Yep, ends up finding Vigario. He's on the ball once again. But can't get past Farron there. Ends up trickling out of bounds once again. Seems as though St. Francis is really trying to play it up that right side. They have a lot of pace down that wing, so they're really looking to utilize that. Well, this looks like to be another long throw into the box. See if he can make it all the way there. It's a long throw. And he does so with ease. It's flicked on. Jumbling around in there. Dice on the ball. Ends up getting cleared out to the back to a St. Francis player on the outside of the box. But he looks to have handled the ball there when trying to control it. That'll be another free kick there for the Foresters. Greenfield looked to play it long fast. Nothing's on. Plays it short.
It's really rare you see 2 handballs, especially at this level of play and a half.
Yeah, it just seems that the ball is getting a little bit harder, or it's just these little mishits that are making it harder for the ball to read. And then they, some words from the Huntington bench there. The ref bringing it back here to have a word with Coach Lawson and one of the players over on that far side.
Wonder what the call's gonna be if there is. I didn't see a card. Did you?
No, I think it was just having some words with some of the players on the bench there. Ended up being a throw-in anyways, which the Foresters lose out on. In possession again anyways. Played across to Erlinson. Giving some space to look for the ball. Finds Miller out here. He turns back and finds Dice. He loses out there to Dakin, who's now dribbling up the field. He's still being hounded by Dice. Still gets the pass off here. And Burton doing some good defensive work, but ends up putting the ball out of bounds.
I think it was good for Burton to hit that out of bounds, even though they have a throw-in now. He stopped that attack, and good job by Dice, too, there, stopping a one-on-one with Greenfield.
Yep. Now Ramirez will be on this throw in. Looking to really utilize a long throw today, try to find an opportunity from one of these throws that may not usually be an offensive threat.
Scoreless first half so far. We're going to see what this final 3:45 has in store.
Yeah, I hope to see a goal before the end of the half. Give some extra energy to the second half. Ooh, and a long kick from Ramirez. Kept it low, but just off target. It was always curling away with that right foot of his. Ends up being another goal kick here for Greenfield. Gets the ball long. Out here to Morris. Brings it down, but right to the opposition defender. Antonio plays it forward.
Offsides.
But Kachia is offsides.
Smart move by Morris there. He knows the referees are noticing this game's getting a little bit chippy, and he kind of got shoved. And he took a step back. He's like, I don't have possession of this ball. I don't want to get a yellow on me. I'm just going to step back and let them play on it. If they're going to call something, it's not going to be on me.
Yeah, with only about 2 minutes left, it's smart to make sure you're not getting carded before the end of the half. Get a little reset button, make sure the game doesn't get as scrappy in the second half. Ball getting jumbled around here in the midfield, but St. Francis comes out with the ball. Played out wide. Now it's all the way up in the corner. Played across. Well, and Greenfield sort of fumbles it. It gets touched out actually out wide by the St. Francis forward there. So it's another goal kick.
Lucky break there for Greenfield to avoid a corner there.
Yeah, Kachia looked like he could have snuck in and taken the ball from him, but ended up just putting it wide. Another long ball as the clock ticks down to 2 minutes. Morris can't bring it down. Antonio can. Plays it up to the wing. But gets chased down easily by Jackson, who plays it all the way back to Greenfield. Wins out in the midfield for St. Francis. Brought down now. Finds Ramirez, who's now in space on the outside of the box. Midfielder closing down though. And a left-footed shot is powerful, but it's right at Greenfield, who can easily bring it down. And now looks to find Morris long. Maybe just a little too wide there. Even his legs can't catch up to that one.
That's what Greenfield does just so well. He has great field vision. He has a great vision on the ball. He always seems to be in the right spot at the right time.
Yeah, and it's always useful when you have a player like that who can just survey the field so well, and then you have a player like Morris who can just have such great speed on the wing. That combination can be deadly for catching the opposition defense off guard. As this throw-in seems to just go on with nobody touching it all the way out of bounds again. Jackson finds Burton here in the center. Turns over and finds Erlinson. Just playing it across this back line. A lot of passes between the two center backs today. Long ball over the top. Morris can't bring it down. And then a large clear there from the St. Francis center back. Just finds the opposition. And Burton is brought down in the midfield. With only about 30 seconds left. See if they can get this free kick in the box and create a chance before the end of the half.
It's going to have to happen fast. 20 seconds remaining.
It'll send everyone up for this free kick. Greenfield's going to go ahead and take this one. No risk of having a counterattack. 10 seconds remaining. Plays the ball in. Ooh, and a punch there from Spencer. All the way out here to Miller, and that'll be the end of the half. It was a good half. It was just scoreless. Couldn't really, neither team could break down the other one.
A defensive match. I think the Cougars remembered that 6-0 loss they suffered last year, and they're just avoiding that at all possible cost.
Yeah, we'll see if the second half can bring us any more goals. It seems to be a kind of a defensive chess match over there. No one can seem to find the right move that'll really crack open the enemy's defense.
It's going to be really interesting, and we'll be back at the end of this half. Carson Watkins, Kyle Shaw, FDN Sports, HU Men's Soccer.
This is how we like to do it.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back inside King Track and Field Stadium. I'm Carson Watkins, joined by Kyle Shaw. And Kyle, defensive battle so far in the first half.
Yeah, I have to agree. No goals yet, hardly any shots on target. Best chances coming from Huntington hitting that left-sided post 3 times in the first half.
100%. As you say that, very little shots on goal. The Cougars have only been able to rack up 2, as the Foresters are only able to rack up 5. 2 of those coming from Eric Ocock, and I think one of those from Ocock hit the post. Another one coming from Garcia, who's had a great game, but just nobody can seem to find the back of the net, which is also a statement to our goalkeepers here, Spencer and Greenfield. And I think it's just going to be really interesting to see how the second half plays out.
Yeah, the Foresters have had the larger share of the possession, but the Cougars have had good chances playing the ball over the top, looking to find some chances on the counter, and that's where they've gotten their 2 shots from.
Yeah, Gabe Greenfield also, I think we mentioned a little bit, he hasn't had to work as hard as Spencer has. Greenfield has only had to make 2 saves so far today, which, is usually he's at about 150 overall in his 3 years here at HU, so that's a really low average for him per half. But Spencer, on the other hand, he's had to grab 5 out of the air, and I don't even think that's going to count those ones on those corners where he's doing a really great job of getting up and punching them out instead of grabbing it, pulling it down. He's just getting it out of the box as fast as he can.
Yeah, super important for your goalkeeper to come out and claim those and be strong on the ball, and really just helps out your defenders when you know that your goalie has your back there, and is willing to cover all those ones that are going to go over your head.
Another thing we mentioned is this has been an incredibly scrappy game. Right now, the Cougars are sitting at 8 fouls in that first half. The Foresters with 5, and I think we've grabbed about 3 yellow cards by now, somewhere around there. So it's just going to be really interesting. We're seeing the officials making sure this game doesn't get too out of hand. The yellows are coming, but no penalty kicks yet, so teams are playing really well in the box, keeping it incredibly clean. But those fouls certainly going to come into play if they persist.
Yeah, if this game ends up staying 0-0 until towards the end of the game, both teams will be pushing harder for a goal and might end up seeing more fouls and more cautions there from the referee. It'll be interesting to see if there's any red cards by the end of the game that can really shift momentum for one team.
Another thing to notice is that the Foresters have grabbed 4 corners on the day. None of them's gone in. I think, once again, we're going to bring up that left post. That left post has just been a crucial, I don't even know how to describe it. It's just been so crucial. It's just there, unfortunately, and I don't even know what the Foresters, they probably got talked about that from Coach Lawson during the half. Like, you guys need to frame your shots up a little bit better. The Cougars are sending theirs to the left. So that's one thing I've noticed. They're taking those shots. They know how good Greenfield is, so they're trying to catch them off guard and just cannot seem to hit the goal at all.
Yeah, the post can be a saving grace if you're someone like a goalkeeper, but can lead to some real heartbreak as it has today for the Foresters. We'll see if they can rein it in towards to actually get a couple more goals in.
And another testament to Greenfield and this Forester back line. They've had no corner kicks yet, so I think that's really helped Greenfield out. And only having to save 2 on the day, and both of those might have gone out anyways. And so I think Gabe Greenfield's going to have to keep it up, this back line, but the offense is going to have to start pushing and watch those offside calls.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. So far, no one's been able to get past the back line for the Foresters. A lot of balls over the top from the Cougars tonight, but the 2 center backs have done a good job of cleaning it up and making sure that those wingers don't get a good chance of getting in behind and causing problems.
Yeah, the team, lots of excitement on the field as we're coming back into this one. The Foresters and the Cougars just lit up as we see some of the guys from the JV squad up to our left just getting incredibly excited for this one, and as are the players in the field. This is going to be an excellent second half of soccer.
Yeah, hopefully, the scoreless draw and just a couple good team talks and lead to some more exciting half. Get some more energy out of the players. Hopefully see a couple of goals by the end of this game.
100%. The kickoff seems to be coming here.
All right, played back to Noah Alexander. Big touch off the start, but looks to be the Foresters want to make a positive start to this half. Played up there, flicked on by Alexander, picked off by the center back, and played out of bounds for another Forester. First throw of the half for the Foresters. Dice on the ball. Looks to do a long throw all the way up to Alexander. Flicks it on there to Howard, or to Garcia. Can't bring it down there. It looks like it's going to be cleared now by St. Francis. Cut off there by Camden Dice, though, before it can reach their center forward. And he plays a nice ball outside to Hunter Jackson on the left side. but he's closed down quickly there by Vigario, who then plays it into the midfield. Stanley's going to look to close down Alexander with some good defensive work. Laid off out to Stanford, plays it across the Lighton, gets cut off though, all the way up to the forward. No, Martinez plays it wide here. Dakin's he's chasing down Dice there, but Dice does a good job keeping his head and playing it back up again. Now Lee on the ball, tries to play it over the top of the defender, can't chase it down though, and the defender just clears it out of bounds for a Forrester throw-in. Another positive start there for the Foresters, looking to get in behind early.
They're playing incredibly tough and incredibly fast, and I think that's exactly what Coach Lawson. I think right when the kickoff happened, you saw Noah Alexander kind of start just charging at it. Didn't give the Cougars a chance to catch their breath.
Yeah, the Foresters are going to come out here with some extra energy, and I think they're going to really try and utilize their pace on the wings to get by the opposition defenders. The ball comes in there, gets cleared out there. And a long ball up high for Erlinson to bring down, which he does at the halfway line. Turns by his defender and plays another ball over the top, but can't seem to find anyone there. No runners getting in behind. All the way up to Spencer, who's going to just gather this ball pretty easily. Got some time now. His defenders get to move up the field here. Midfielders get to work and see if they can win the ball out of the air.
I think Spencer's just trying to control the pace of this one. I think both teams. I think you saw when the Forge had that throw in, everyone kind of like pedaled back to the. They didn't like rush up there and try to get the throw out. They just decided to kind of take a stroll upfield.
Yeah, I think with the Foresters' fast start to this half, they wanted to slow it down, make sure that they can get some possession in, and try to slow down this offense that seems to be wanting to get on the ball so much for the Foresters. Long throw here. Dice coming all the way across the field to take this long throw, get a look to put it into the box, create some problems for the defense.
Dice always seems to do this. He always seems to run out to like the edge of the track, but he gets a lot of power on it.
Yeah, it's hard with this field with the track being so close to the actual field. It makes it hard to get a good run up with your cleats on the track. Doesn't really work out. The ball goes out of bounds for a goal kick.
Foresters were calling for it. No such luck.
Foresters dropping in now, trying to get back their defensive shape to defend against this goal kick. I think that's Martinez again. Get a lineup for this goal kick. Actually, I think it might be Guerrero. It is. He plays a long, low ball. Can't find its way outside of the half.
Barely left the turf or the grass.
Yeah, probably just a little mishit there. He went straight to Alexander, who's now tussling with the ball outside. Ends up going out of bounds for a Forester throw in, which he'll take himself.
Delayed call there, but the Foresters incredibly lucky to get this ball close to their own box.
Plays it back to Dice. Gonna play it into Lighton in the midfield. Finds Garcia. Tries to play it through to the wing. Ends up coming off and finding them again. But his long ball doesn't work out. Can't find anyone on the cross.
Ocock made a charge at it.
Yeah, Ocock's found a lot of space on that left-hand side, looking to get that back post run. Hopefully, if the ball trickles through, he can get a shot in an open net, but it hasn't worked out for him yet. That ball was just a little bit too inside for him. We'll go out for another goal kick here, taken by Maldonado. Plays a long, little bit better kick than last time, but still can't make it past the opposition midfield. Ocock brings it down, plays it out wide to Lee. Tries to step back, but doesn't have enough time as he's closed down from behind. Long ball over the top for Ocock. Plays into the middle. Anyone at the back post, and Lee puts it in. Goal for Huntington University right there. Cross in there from Eric Ocock and put in by Keegan Lee.
Lots of jubilation. That's one thing I liked for the Foresters. They finally got on the goal. They finally got on the board for one. Interesting, the ref has not called the time. They gotta watch that clock right there. It's still running, but Foresters finally. It's been a long time since they finally got a shot on goal. That was also Lee's first shot on goal in the game. But I always love that when you see the Foresters, especially like early in the season, when they get that first goal, the entire bench is up.
Yeah. We thought it would be Eric Ocock getting into that space on the left side, and sure enough, he's the one that got the assist, plays it across to Lee, and the sophomore from Fort Wayne just puts it away with ease. Those two wingers linking up, that's what the Foresters have been wanting to get all game, haven't been able to find until then. O'Cock on the ball now, plays it into Lighton. And now finds Stanford, who can't find another teammate right there.
Now the real question is can the Foresters continue this defense? Because, I mean, if that's all they need, I think they'll be appreciative of that.
Yeah, and with such a strong start to the half, they're really going to want to try and get forward and put this game to bed with a couple more goals if they can keep this energy up. Erlinson looks to spray the ball out wide here to O'Cock, but can't find him there. He played it back to Spencer. Can't get another good ball. He's struggling to get the ball into the air today. He just finds Noah Stanford. He puts a curler in, but Spencer with a relatively easy save. Not enough power on that one from Stanford.
And then Spencer decided, I think that one might have hit the post or went out, but Spencer decided just to grab it himself and slow the pace down of the game.
Yeah, I think Stanford's shot had a little bit of curl on it. He just wanted to play it safe, make sure it didn't sneak its way into that far post. That long ball is played all the way back to Greenfield. Being closed down here, but he'll pick it up. And then once again, that side foot technique, you get that all the way up here to Alexander, who flicks it on. He's done a good job today of getting those flicked on passes. As that ball is picked off by Lighton. Can't find Lee on the wing. But he is closing down the defender and doing a good job of keeping him there. Ends up forcing a goal kick.
Goal. Spencer's been having an increasingly difficult task. He's been constantly grabbing those balls and just he's launching them right to the Foresters, and so I think he's trying to avoid that here.
Yeah, we saw in the first half that Martinez seemed to come in and take a lot of the goal kicks. That hasn't been the case as much in this half, as Dice gets tangled up with one of the midfielders there, draws a foul.
That was a good call by the official there. Another foul. Foresters got to watch those. Like I said, they're getting really. I think eventually the officials are going to, start throwing out yellows and maybe even a red if this doesn't stop.
Yeah, I think that one was just a tangle of legs. No malicious intent in that one, but certainly towards the end of this half, if it keeps going like this, we'll probably see some more cautions. Long ball in, can't threaten the Huntington goal though, so it'll go out for another goal kick. Greenfield looks to take it quickly, tries to find O'Cock out wide, who can't chase this one down in time.
Good effort there by O'Cock. He took a good run at it. I think the writing was on the wall when it left Greenfield's foot.
Yeah, always encouraging to your teammates to see that you'll put the work in like that, especially when you have such a strong start to this half. That energy has to be put into the right spots. Throw in here for St. Francis, headed away by Jackson, back to Erlinson, who clears it long, looking to find Garcia, backs into his defender. Can't win it out. And it was played out there by Colantonio. So now Jackson will come up and try and will take over this throw in here. Finds Lighton in space in the midfield. Tries to play it forward right to Martinez. And then cleared forward right to Erlinson. Seems to have bounced up and hit his hand unintentionally. That'll be a call against them.
Yes. There must be something with the grass today. They might need to send the grounds crew out here, the student grounds crew, if you will. And
yeah, I think maybe having so many games on this field might have made it a little bit uneven in certain parts, harder for the defenders to read the bounce, and which is leading to so many of these handballs today.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of the JV games move from this field over to the practice fields just for that reason alone, And even like there's a women's game on Wednesday, a men's game on Saturday, and
yeah, it's hard to keep up with this kind of field. It'd be interesting to see, since that's our third handball we've had in this game so far. We'll see if that ends up happening maybe in one of the team's boxes, earn themselves a penalty, since we've seen it so often. This is going to be another long throw here from St. Francis, see if he can get all the way into the box. Put some spin on it. Two Huntington defenders go up for the ball, end up clearing it out. And then it's a low ball out to Garcia here, who picks it up. Back into the defender, back to Lighton, who puts a high ball, which will be headed away easily by Martinez, but straight to Garcia. He then flicks it on to Stanford, who's got a clear run at goal, but is chased down, saved from Spencer, and then cleared out by St. Francis. Can't get past Lighton, though, as it's put back in the middle.
Spencer and Stanford got tangled up there, and it was really got a call there.
Yeah, it looks like Alexander going over the top of that
But Spencer
St.
was
Francis
tangled up
midfielder.
with about 3 people, and it was a good effort by him just to stand up and get out of there.
Yeah, did a good job of rushing down the striker, closing down that angle, making sure that he can't sneak one by him. Made himself big as the shot came in. This will be another long free kick here for Martinez. Plays it high and long to the right side of the box. Flicked on out into the corner where Colantonio can pick it up. Gets it around his defender, but can't get it to any of his teammates. And that ball is going to just roll out here for a throw, which will be Huntington's.
I was really curious about why Ocock was just letting that roll. I thought it was going to be a throw-in for the Cougars, but Ocock saw something I didn't and made the right call.
Must have been more confident than us in calling that one. This ball is cleared out of bounds by St. Francis once again. Jackson will take another throw in here. Just play it short to Jones. Has some space to move it forward here. Looks up the field. Plays a long ball out to Lee. And a high bounce takes it over his head and out of bounds.
Only 12 minutes have been played in this game, and so, like you said, it felt like a lot longer, especially with that goal that came early. But this defensive battle is going to have to continue. If that one goal was the decider, it's going to be really interesting to see. And Greenfield let that one go by him. Good read by him.
Yeah, a little bit of a long back pass there from his defender, but he did a good job of cleaning it up, even though it's back. And a shot there from Vigario trying to catch Greenfield, who had to move out of net for that bad back pass, but Greenfield had the legs to get back in time to make an easy save. He's going to roll it out here now to Erlinson.
We said it before, Greenfield likes to play out of the box quite a bit. And I even said, is that a risky move for him? Is it risky enough for him to, stand back there and risk something like that happen? Getting a tie off of an own goal would be not the headline you want to read in tomorrow's paper.
Yeah, I think it's all about confidence with him. He has such confidence in his own ability with the ball at his feet that it really helps him out in situations like that, where even when the ball came back out for a opposition player, it would have taken a very, basically a wonder strike to put it past him before he could get back in position.
Dice's arm got grabbed there. It was a little bit of a delayed call. I was surprised it didn't come immediately, but I guess the call is the call, and the Foresters are going to be able to have a chance to change field here.
And Dice is going to back up here and probably going to look to play it long and across the field out to this outside winger on the left side. And sure enough, he's going to play it out here to Alexander in the center of the field, who then tries to put one over the top. Chased down here by Lee, but not before Spencer comes and rushes out of his goal nicely to collect that ball. Played long, another powerful kick long for them, but can't bring it under control. And I'll just go out of bounds for a Huntington throw. Lee's going to leave it here for Dice. Long throw forward, and Lee puts it into the center here, but a good clear by the center backs for St. Francis gets it all the way up to their center forward here. Looked to be a possible handle, some objections from the opposition bench, but play goes on. Vigario chases this one down, but Erlinson beats him to it. Ends up clearing it out here. A miscontrol there, and Lee just puts it long and out of bounds. This is going to make it to the practice field for the JV team. And sure enough, it made it all the way out there. That'll be a throw for St. Francis.
I think the ball keepers got a little bit lucky this year. There's a couple people who decided to sit on the other side, a couple restrictions on attendance due to COVID-19. So they decided to, we're just gonna sit along the highway, make it.
Saves the legs of all of our wonderful ball boys. We're gonna jumble around in the box, almost latched onto it there by a St. Francis player, but it ends up being cleared out. Close call there, but a vital interception from Josh Jones, I believe it was. Another throw in here. Dice on it though, gets a ball over his head to Lee, who brings it down nicely. Ooh, and gets a little hip check there, and it's enough to warrant a call from the referee.
they're watching the chippiness of this game. We've seen some games get like almost out of hand. I think one thing I bring back to is the Bethel Huntington semifinal game last year. Almost a full-fledged fight came out at towards the end of the first half.
Yeah, I remember being in attendance to that game, and it was just such a heated game. But this ref's done a good job today of making sure the energy's up, but not anything's getting out of hand. Looks like he's going to stop the clock here. Something going on the opposite side of the field with the St. Francis bench.
Are they giving a yellow to somebody on the bench? That's what I'm curious about.
It looks as though he might be pulling out the card. Somebody might have been talking a little bit too much over there.
I saw a player lift up his jersey to give his number, so yeah, I think that might have been it.
Yeah.
Good break there for both teams. It's unfortunate that there had to be a yellow given.
We're going to have a chat here with this assistant referee on the near side. Still trying to decipher exactly what happened. I think they're trying to look at their watches and make sure that the score timer on the scoreboard is lined up with their own. Make sure it's not off by a few seconds there.
I think I even saw after the goal was scored, I think it started to tick a little bit. So I'm not sure if they're just noticing that now. It was about in the 39 minutes remaining. I just saw it kept ticking. I think I even said something. I said, hey, the clock's still ticking.
And all the players are now just waiting here, lined up for this free kick as they adjust the clock now. I think there was a couple seconds that needed to be taken down. Ref went over and talked to the scoreboard crew. I think everything's worked out now. Player will resume here.
Good break for the teams though to catch their breath here after 15 minutes of intense, fast-paced soccer. Nice job to
kind of a hectic start. Good to get a little break. Might work against the Foresters though, who had a lot of the momentum going their way. You never know if that can kind of change the tide in one of these games. Ball played short, can't reach any players, but comes out here to Hunter Jackson, who plays the ball over the top for Garcia. Being harried there by Martinez, who ends up winning out. I think they're going to pull it back for an offsides call there against Garcia. So we'll leave the ball there for Martinez to take this kick.
a little bit of back and forth there on the left side, so I wasn't sure if they were calling a foul on both of them or giving Garcia a free kick. But I guess you're right. I was about to say you got to watch it all sides, but beat me to the punch.
Yeah, both teams have done a good job of holding their lines high enough to catch the opposition offsides. It's really important to keep that defense organized. A lot of leadership in the back needed for that. Ball jumbling around here in the midfield. Stanford can't get it out, but wins it back again. Played up to Alexander. He then puts the ball too high there for Lighton. Comes back to St. Francis. Back pass almost cut off there. Leads to a bad ball back to Stanford, who chips it up for Lee. Plays it forward for Dice, and then leaves it for Alexander. Turns, and he can't find his teammate in the midfield. Ramirez will pick it up, play it over here to Vigario. Does the turn. Over the top here.
One-on-one.
For Kunze. Tries to beat his defender, puts it on his left foot. Can't get it past Josh Jones, though. Now comes out here to Eric Okak on the wing. Has some time to look across the field and play all the way across to Lee, who has acres of space in front of him to run into. It's a one-on-one, see what he does here. Ends up playing it forward through to Garcia. Just the other defender did a good job of reading that and coming across. Now Lee trying to get the ball back here with some pressure. Finds here to Vaides, who then sprays it long. Looks to be a little bit too far for his winger. Picked up here by Jackson. Tries to play it forward here to Okak. Can't find him. Good work there. Up to back to the other center back. Makes a mistake though. Pablo Garcia looks to close it down. Gets another block in. See if he can keep it in bounds.
He does.
Plays it in though. Can't find another teammate. Almost a really lucky break for Huntington. It's cleared out here to Jackson. Takes on his defender and gets by him.
I think it was a lucky break for the Cougars, too. If that ball bounced off that defender's leg just a little bit harder, we're looking at a corner.
Yep. Another throw in here. There's a couple subs coming in. Looks like Miller coming in for Lee. And the Welshman, Ali Ardle, coming in for Noah Alexander. Just a couple of fresh legs after that long, or that fast-paced start. Maybe need some new energy for this midfield. on that right-hand side. As Jackson looks to put this one in. Finds Garcia, but can't get it past Martinez, who then plays it forward. Up here now to Kachia. Now Dakin on the ball, looks to work against Dice. They've had a good battle out there today. A couple of one-on-one situations. The ball played in, mishit by Jones, but Hunter Jackson there to clean it up, put it out here to Eric O'Cock. A little battle between him and Vigario there. Now it's played long for Garcia, who looks to skip by the defender, who does a good job. Cole Antonio clearing it long and outside of the outside to that far corner. It'll be another throw in here for Camden Dice for Huntington. Plays it down the line there to Garcia, but it's cut off for another throw in about the same spot. Looks to utilize that long throw again as Lighton makes way for Reed Burton, who's going to come in and hope to drop into that base of midfield, hope to control the game from there. And a long throw, very far. Another good punch from Spencer as it's cleared out. Can't get farther than Jackson, though. He's going to look to put this ball right back in. And Garcia in. Ooh, Garcia was close there. He's offside. Couldn't get that flick on header either. It'll be another free kick here.
I think it's a good thing that Garcia didn't get that in the back of the goal. It would have been a really sad thing to watch the jubilation of the crowd be deflated in seconds.
Yeah. Always kind of a, it's good for the striker to know that he can put one in, but then always kind of that sadness that comes after knowing that it was offsides. Josh Jones wins that long ball as Cole Antonio takes a tumble there in the center of the field for St. Francis. But he just finds forward, gets up to the winger, he has some space, gets by Dice. Oh, but Dice has good recovery to get back there. Plays it back here to Kachia, all the way back to Videz. He's going to put in a ball here. Gets over Josh Jones' head and an audacious bicycle kick. Ooh. Almost made it out there to his teammate, but a mishit bicycle kick. Not one of those you see going in every day, but always worth the attempt to see if you can get one of those in.
Might be on Sports Center if that would have went in.
Yeah. It's cleared out of bounds now for a Huntington throw-in. Not many opportunities to get those in your career. Always worth it to go for it, even if it's frowned upon to be so full of flair in these games when you're down a goal. As Reed Burton gets on the ball here, he looks to play it back outside. Finds Ollie Ardle. He plays a ball around the defense, finds Garcia. Oh, and Garcia, a good close down by Spencer. Closed down, the ball broke out nicely there for Pablo Garcia, but he couldn't get to it before Spencer closed him down.
Spencer got a lucky break too. That went right into his gut when he dove for it. If he would have if Garcia would have faked him out, he has a wide open goal, and I think it's even luckier he didn't get a lot of power on that before it went right into his gut. Yeah. When he was laying there, I was like, is he hurt or is he just protecting it?
Yeah, those are why I would never want to be a goalkeeper. Take a lot of hits from those powerful shots from close range. As the St. Francis looks to get the ball in, goes out for a corner kick for them.
Oh, I think this is their first corner of the game, so let's see if the Foresters react to that.
Yeah, they've had a lot of long balls in from deep free kicks. We'll see how they do on this corner kick. Yet to get a real chance at a goal here from a dead ball situation.
Greenfield directing the players here.
Yeah, and this will be Vigario taking this one. Looks to whip it in with his left foot.
Good leadership by him.
Yeah, the St. Francis players lining up more towards the outside of the box, not really sitting near the goal. They're going to want to make a run in as a team here as a substitution for St. Francis comes in. And the ref sees something here.
I was noticing that too. In the box, we have 17 and 21. They're kind of like just jostling with each other, and like he's blocking Greenfield's view.
In. Yeah, always a good play to try and get a player to block the goalkeeper. The ball comes back in here, going to sail over the bar for a goal kick. But yeah, it's always a good idea to put one player on the goalkeeper, try to keep him hindered from getting to the ball. As we've seen Spencer come out and punch the ball quite a few times. If you can get somebody there to block him off from doing that, obviously without fouling, it's always a good call. Greenfield will play it short here to Jones. He'll turn and look across the field, plays it back to Greenfield. He was getting closed down, so he's forced to play a long ball out here. Martinez does a good job winning that one. And Dakin cannot bring it down, so it's back to Erlinson here, plays a long ball to Garcia. Can't win the ball over Cole Antonio. Seems to be a little bit of a height difference there for that one. Then Ardle can't play the ball forward to his winger. Martinez now plays it out wide to that other midfielder in his 3. Over the top now for Kachia. Plays it across. Ooh, and Stanford gets the ball out as it kind of worked its way through all the players there. Now Ardle on the ball. Flicks it over the top for Garcia, all alone here in that one-on-one. But he's shielded off and the ball goes out of bounds for a St. Francis throw-in on that far side. Throw-in comes in though, it goes straight to a Huntington player. Played it back, can't really keep possession of the ball either team right now, and Burton finds himself on the ball. Tries to spray it out wide to Eric Ocock, can't find him. Cleared out to Dice, and then heads it long, and once again another St. Francis throw. Throw-in comes in here to the winger, looks to turn, finds space in the midfield for Martinez, and then plays it all the way right here out here for Vigario, who can't bring it under control and ends up going out of bounds here. Jackson will look to play it long fast to Ocock, can't get it past Martinez. Looks like Vigario thought he was held there by Jackson, but he's on the ball again. Can't find his teammate in the midfield. Now Burton on the ball in the center, getting closed down. Finds Garcia in the center. Maintains the ball, gets past the defender, and another one. Good run here. Finds Miller outside. Oh, and a ball over to Ocock. What a save.
Incredible
by Spencer.
save.
Ocock finding that space on the right side again, tries to curl it into that upper right-hand corner, but Spencer does a good job getting it up and forcing it over that crossbar. Common theme today for the Huntington offense is that space out here in the left-hand side. It's been utilized more than once today, and it was what led to their earlier goal, and to that golden opportunity right there. It was a great reaction save by Spencer.
Even from my angle, I thought I couldn't tell if it was in or not, but here comes the corner. It's going to go high.
When it's played over, can't find a teammate. Cleared out to Erlinson, who's turned his back to goal. Tries to play it back out wide to Ardle, who can't bring it down, loses out. Ends up being a throw for St. Francis. Yeah, Spencer, he's not that big of a goalkeeper, only at 5'10". Usually it's useful. You see a lot of goalkeepers in more of like the 6-footer range can fill that goal more. Both goalkeepers today are a little bit on the shorter side than a typical goalkeeper, but have done a great job of just covering that goal with these great reaction saves, as we saw right there from Spencer. Another throw in here for Dice on the right-hand side. Substitution now. That's Nick Allen coming in for Noah Stanford. Throws the ball into Garcia. Plays it back to Dice, who finds Miller on the outside. The ball back to Miller, can't keep it in, so it goes out of bounds. Throw in now into the midfield. Goes into the back line to Josh Erlinson. Ocock with a nice move. Skips by his defender. Has some space in front of him. Getting closed down, though. Can't get by Cole Antonio, and Martinez comes away with it.
It was about a 3-on-1 there. An unlucky break for any player.
Yeah, once he got past that first defender, he just didn't have enough time to get past the other 3. But Ocock's on the ball here again. Finds Allen in the midfield, but he loses out as he's closed down from behind. And the ball is now cleared up and finds its way to a Huntington center back. Little move there from Erlinson, finds Josh Jones. Now here to Hunter Jackson, closed down by Vigario. He goes for a slide but misses.
Oh.
Ocock misses out. Now it's swarmed on by St. Francis players. Finds Vigario here out wide. Closed down though by Ocock. Still skips around him though. Out here into the middle, can't keep control of it, and Lighton cleans it up, and then a large clear from Dice. That'll go all the way back to Spencer in goal. He's going to run out of his net to go chase that one down. Ends up going out for a throwing on that other side anyways. A couple of subs here for each team. I think about 3 players coming in for St. Francis and Howard coming in for Garcia for Huntington. Meanwhile, for St. Francis, I believe it's Yaney coming in for the midfield. As well as 2 other players. Another throw here. Long throw, can't get past Dice, heads it back in and out of bounds. Repeat process.
This might need to be the point where the Foresters do this. I think this is exactly what they want. They want the ball exchange. They want the Cougars to try to reset. Anything to kill just a few extra seconds. But one thing to remember is that during the Marion game, our last home game for the men, they gave up 2 goals in 5 minutes. And in this game, you can never count anybody out.
Yeah, I think they're really going to try and push for 1 more goal here, then they can feel safer about sitting back and just trying to hold possession to waste time. 1-0 lead just isn't safe enough, I think, yet for them to really be just waiting around for time to run out. Because we know that St. Francis is going to be chasing a goal here as Howard looks to skip around his defender, can't outrun him in the
Howard
center
has
back
jets, though.
Yeah, he really turned it on there, just couldn't get around him. He started just a couple yards behind that defender, but was forced him to play it out of bounds, though, for another long throw here from Dice. Looks to switch the balls there, must not have been to his liking.
I think they're supposed to change them out every time. I think those are there just in case. If we see actually a baseball player, Frokie, over there, throw-in coming.
Can't get a hold on it there. Cleared out by St. Francis, and I think Noah Alexander has come back into the game, almost got that ball. Now Lighton plays it out to Alexander, who has space down this wing. One-on-one here, see if he can take him on. Ends up playing it in, gets blocked though, and now Vigario on the ball, gets a chance to turn. Now a long ball over the top here. Kachia can't catch up to it though. Greenfield comes out and kicks it long. Now it's coming out wide, and it goes out for a Huntington throw on the far side. Dice finds Artle, and the Welshman can't keep control of it. Ends up going up and high. Nick Allen under the ball here. Loses out though. Trickles back to Colantonio in defense. Finds his midfielder there. Skips by Layton to Martinez. Plays a long ball up to Vigario. And Jackson heads it back to Greenfield there, who can pick it up. Now surveys the field looking for an open player. It's that side foot kick up to Howard. He's going to look to bring this one down. Misjudges it. Falls to Allen, though. Heads it across to Artle. Back to Allen. Plays it out wide here to Miller. Brings it down nicely. Turns back, though. Martinez on the ball now as St. Francis takes back possession. Can't keep it, though, as Lighton gets back on the ball to Artle. Plays it out wide. Gets closed down, and that'll be a throw, I believe, to St. Francis. It must have come off of Miller right before it went out. Long throw now. Can't get past Dice once again. Over here to over to Alexander. Plays it through to Howard, who can't find a team in the middle. No one making that run to the center of the box. There's a good opportunity, though, to play that low ball. Just nobody there to get on the end of it.
He was definitely expecting it, too. You could tell that one wasn't even supposed to go towards the goal. I think he was turned away from it. I think he was expecting someone just to be there.
Yeah, hoping for a midfielder to make a late run there, but no one came to his rescue there. As Irwinson gets this ball outside as St. Francis looks to turn the pressure up after that close call. Lighton wins the ball, plays it up to Miller, continues his run, but can't find Artle there as it's played back to St. Francis' defense. Immediately gets a long ball up towards Vigario, which will be claimed here by Greenfield. He picks it up and waits for his defender to close it down, so then Jackson has more space. Lighton there in the midfield, plays it back. Just trying to tire out these defenders as they close them down. You know, Jackson gets this ball on the outside with tons of space. Plays it into Alexander, who flicks it through the legs of the defender. Nice move, but couldn't find, I believe he won a foul.
Howard kind of shoved him. That's not what they're calling, though. No,
Yeah, I
it's
think
actually
that happened after the first foul, so they're going to call it back to the original one. As Nick Allen will be taking this dead ball and try to put it in the box.
Spencer standing center. Is he just going to try to? Oh,
actually, Alexander now coming over and standing over this one. Probably going to claim it.
Looks like Alexander's going to take it.
Plays it short to Allen
Got
down the
a little trick
sideline.
play.
See if he can cut it back on his right foot. Back to Alexander. He's going to try and play this ball in now. And he can't find a teammate, but it doesn't get past Miller, who then finds Allen on the outside again. Cuts it in. Can't find any space. Finds Howard. Scuffling around in there, and it's cleared out, but not very far until then.
Howard got tripped up there.
Yeah,
got a big one-on-one here. Greenfield's going to take that one.
Yeah, it looked like there's just too many players in the box there to really get any space to work a shot in, but Howard's on the ball again. Can't get it up in the air, and that'll be a foul against Jackson. He's just clashed into the opposite defender. I think the ref's going to call him back here for a yellow. Might have said too many things there after the foul was done. Referee really trying to stamp his authority on this game, make sure that none of these players get out of hand.
He got up and kind of like waved his arms.
Yeah, it seemed to be just a little bit too much there for the referee. Another caution, though, make sure that we have to watch Jackson for the rest of this game and see if he plays it a little bit more cautiously. Might have to pull out of a couple tackles now. Him and Noah Stanford, both on yellows now. Martinez will look to play this one long once again, as almost the majority of St. Francis' team is up for this free kick. Played long, but can't get past Nick Allen, who wins it in the air, and is now chased down by Artle. Out of bounds for a St. Francis throw. They still have numbers forward from that free kick. Not many of them drop back yet, looking to cause a little overload. Flicked on here. Kachia is in the box. It gets closed down by Dice, turned around away from goal. Looks to work some space, ends up playing it out of bounds for a goal kick.
I got to give Dice a lot of credit for this for the Cougars being blanked so far. He's been a niche in the back. He's been right there when when the free kicks, the throw-ins, when they get in the box. He's always there.
Yeah, it seems that whatever player they're putting against him today, he just has won out every individual battle against, whether it's Kachia or Dakin that's on that left-hand side for them. They just can't seem to find a way on the ground or in the air against Dice today. It's brought down by Miller for Jackson, who can't find a teammate. Colantonio cuts it out, plays it all the way up for Vigaria on this wing. One-on-one with Josh Jones. Cuts it on his left, plays it in, but it's cleared out off the head of Josh Erlinson. All the way out to Alexander, who now has tons of space up into this midfield. Plays it long to Howard, but it might be a little too long here, and Spencer will be able to collect pretty easily. Look to play it fast there, but has a defender coming.
Good job by Howard there. A little bit of an intimidation factor I'll give Howard. Spencer looked a little bit angry when Howard charged at him when he picked it up. I think he's just trying to get in his head.
Handball there from Jackson. He tries to clear the ball out. Bounced a little bit too low for him. Another free kick here. Several free kicks today for St. Francis in this half.
Just not able to capitalize them. That's just a lot of credit to this Forrester back three.
Yeah, haven't been many in shooting position though, only about one, but still a lot of opportunities to put the ball into a dangerous area from this kind of space, as he does here. A little bit of a shove in the back there from Colantonio. Gets a foul against Dice. So it'll be a Huntington free kick inside the penalty box. Referee points where Greenfield can set the ball here. There's a long ball up here to Howard, who does a good job holding off his defender and gets a turn, and now is turned on the afterburners, but gets a call against him here for holding on his defender.
Not even sure if it was a hold call. I think he accidentally... They're going to stop it.
I think he may have been leaning too hard into his defender. A little bit too much for the referee, and then some words here exchanged, maybe a yellow card.
And now Lawson's getting involved.
Referee's going to go over and have a couple words here with Coach Lawson.
Coach, I think what I saw, I don't know. Jimmy was running. That's what the thing. I think he was just propelling his arms. I think he accidentally got a little bit of his nose. And I don't want to use the word flop. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to use the word flop, but he looked. He did look like he was over exaggerating just a little bit.
Yeah, he was either there or I think maybe when he first made contact with him when trying to turn with the ball, but it's hard to tell. Obviously, Coach Lawson thought that the assistant referee didn't make the call, so he had some exchange there with the center referee trying to ask him to watch his assistants there.
You know, Coach Lawson's such a tenured member and such a, you know, Coach Lawson's career here at HU is legal enough to drink. and so I think his leadership style is just, and plus the 4 years he played here, you know, he's such a member of this community.
Obviously a lot of passion there. He's going to want to fight for his team in those kind of situations. There seems to be a foul here against Dice, but he seems to come out worse off from that challenge as he's still on the ground here. Referee will stop time, maybe get Dice checked out here by the trainer.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. The other thing is that Dice went down so hard, you saw the grass, like a divot, a large one at that.
It's a large chunk of the ground taken out there, put back in place there by Noah Alexander.
Dangerous. 8:02 remaining after that stoppage, and once it's kicked, it's going to be about 8, but this is a dangerous spot.
Yeah, it looks as though Vigario will be lined up for this one. Dangerous position to whip it in the box. He does so, but a punch out by Greenfield. Right back out to the Vigario, who'll get a second chance at this one. Puts another ball in, but once again, Greenfield looks to collect this one right over the opposition forward there.
Good job by Greenfield there to protect it. And, you know, I know you're a Michigan man, but I'm a Columbus Crew fan. I don't know. I think we might as well take Greenfield at this point. we got a high first round pick.
If Michigan had a soccer team, I would gladly take him. Howard here released down the right side, looks to beat his defender with some pace. He does so, but can't get the cross in. Still maintains the ball. And
there we go.
Earns himself a foul in the corner. This will be almost set up like a corner here for HU.
I don't know. I think if Jimmy didn't get that call, I think he might have earned himself a red.
Yeah, possibly. As we said earlier, there's got to be a lot of energy and emotions coming out in these last 5 minutes here, or last 10 minutes or so, because obviously Huntington wants to put one more in, kind of put this game to bed, and St. Francis is going to be chasing a goal to try to tie this game up, turn the fortunes in their favor.
An equalizer would be huge with under 7 minutes remaining.
Yeah, Alexander here looks to take this free kick, try to get them that crucial second goal that will give them some breathing space. Puts the ball in here, and looks as though Erlinson got up for that one, but couldn't keep it down under the crossbar, and goes high and wide there. Actually, I don't think that was Erlinson. That was Lee. He'll be out for another goal kick, though. Martinez will drop back and take this one for Spencer. A long kick into the midfield. Dice wins another header up to Nick Allen. He goes back to goal, plays it to Nick Allen, or to Stanford, who can't keep control of it, and then Jackson keeps the ball and takes it up to Eric Ocock, who looks to find some space in the midfield. Plays it forward to Nick Allen, who wins the ball back. Turns behind, looks for some space behind here, and finds Jackson. A nice little turn there. Ball over the top here for Garcia. Looks to latch onto this one. Defender closed it down. But Garcia doing a good job of staying with it.
He might have even been held there. And it looked like I'm not sure I couldn't quite tell from my angle, but he looked to be a little bit restricted. But good job for him for playing through and just not throwing his hands up looking for the call.
Yeah, I think the ref was not going to call it there because it was kind of going both ways. Didn't want to call it because then, I mean, it's hard to make either team happy when they call something like that.
Yeah.
But just good for him to let the play just work its way out. As we have a St. Francis throw here, going to do another long throw to try and get it into the box here.
It's really smart that the Foresters just have a guy playing up, like just in front of everybody.
Yeah, I always want to have a guy putting pressure on the two center backs. Always have a threat up there. The ref once again, or he's going to tell this thrower to back up a little bit here.
He's just going to do a stutter step and go back to where he was.
Can't find a teammate. Or actually he can, but goes right to Greenfield, the shot.
Corner kick, a big one too.
Yeah, only about 4 minutes left. This will be a crucial goal if they can tie it up here.
Hold your breath, folks.
Gregario looked to whip this one in with his left foot. Most people would probably want a right-footed cross in here heading towards the goal, but this one will bend away.
Just as you called it, Greenfield read it perfectly.
Comes up to claim that one. Puts a long ball quickly, and it's going to work its way through for Garcia. He's going to see if he can outpace these two. Going to have a call here, though. I'm not sure what for yet. I think it was for Garcia being held.
I think so, too. And Stanford better be careful. He's arguing right now. We got a yellow. I don't know who the yellow was on. It can't be on Stanford because I believe that'll turn into a red for him.
No, yeah, it must have been whoever was holding back Garcia was one of their center backs.
And
this will be a good free kick in a dangerous position for HU.
Especially if Spencer can't just corral it down. If it bounces off him, he might be caught off guard. They're going to move it all the way back to
almost the center circle there.
Surprising.
Probably wanted to start at or put the ball at the start of the foul, but might have been even a little bit too far back. But regardless, they're going to put this ball in. Can't seem to find anyone with that one. Ooh, and a little fumble there from Spencer. Could have been pounced upon, but got away with that one.
Just as I said, if Spencer let that one matriculate away from him, it could have been huge.
Kept the ball in there, but Erlinson plays it right back to St. Francis, but gets back at it right away. I think the ref's calling it out of bounds. It must have crossed out of bounds over on that far side, so that'll be HU's throw.
Bench still protesting it, but lucky break there for the Foresters, because now that you see they're just kind of standing around now letting some clock burn. We got a whistle. For what, I don't know.
I don't know. I think the referee's going to call in another substitution as Alexander comes back into the game for Nick Allen.
Yeah, I think you're correct.
I think he's just tired of getting this earful from both benches here towards the end of the game. As Dice will line up for this throw. Launches it down the wing to Garcia, but loses out and heads out of bounds here for a Huntington throw. Apparently an illegal throw there called by the referee, so they'll be going the other way. St. Francis can't get it past Dice as Stanford will chase this one down with Ramirez. It's a large
body
push there.
check.
Yeah.
I think that's a safer thing to call it a body check. I've been watching a little bit of hockey, and that's what I saw last night.
Ball goes high here and comes out to St. Francis. He'll play it wide. A vital interception there from Erlinson so that Kachia can't get on the ball there and have an open shot.
Under 3 remaining. It's getting intense there by the box, Greenfield.
Yeah, St. Francis just pouring men forward, hoping to get a header on this ball as they put the long throw in. Comes in here and a good header, but it goes just over the bar. I think it was a push off the back there from one of the St. Francis players.
Yeah, I agree.
Greenfield going to take his time here trying to run that clock down before the end of the game.
He gets the whistle, kind of, a hurry up type of. Stanford's still talking to the official a little bit, but like I said, he better be careful with that one yellow already in his.
Yeah, it's important for the captain to be the one to kind of communicate with the referee, but when you're on a yellow card, you don't want to push your luck if you're, a Stanford. Layton comes in here and cleans up that one. Almost gets it out here to Okak as Martinez cleans it up.
Okak, good read by him as well. He had to be careful. He knew he might have been he was pushing offside. Garcia coming in.
Good turn from Garcia. Cuts his defender and gets a little shove there, but not enough to get a call. Can't clear it past Alexander. Comes out here wide. And Eric Okak gets a block in here. And a good touch to bring it down as he tussles with this defender. Stanford then gets the ball. And it's a call against Stanford. Fans not enjoying that one, thinking that they should have got the call for the foul against Okak.
Yeah, they both went to the ground, so that's what's confusing. No cards given out. Lucky for Stanford, but
and Martinez will get the ball short here on the wing. Look to whip in a ball here. Can't get it past the first defender.
But we're getting a corner.
Minute 20 left, and this will be a big corner here. They're going to send everybody up for this one.
Greenfield took a drink. I don't know if you saw it. Greenfield took a drink of water there. He's like, okay, I better.
Got to stay hydrated for a play like this. Everyone in the Huntington box right now, it's cleared
it goes out.
Only as far, though, as the opposition wing. It's going to go out for another long throw for St. Francis, so they're not out of danger yet.
1 minute remaining. This is intense. Even the St. Francis goalkeeper coming up all the way to the halfway line in support.
Long throw in, though. And
Greenfield got it.
What a leap from Greenfield to claim that ball. What a crucial part of the game right there. And he was just going to put it long and as far away from his goal as possible. So is Noah Alexander. He's going to play the ball over the top and might get latched onto by Lee. Can't be controlled by Spencer, and he plays it out here. Oh, and he gets a lucky break there from the defender. Almost broke kindly there for a Huntington striker to get onto it.
10
ball
seconds
over
remaining.
The top now, 10 seconds. Jackson's going to get onto this one and just clear it out of bounds, and that should be it. So a solid 1-0 win here for Huntington University. Real defensive game from both teams. But Greenfield had a great night. Both goalkeepers really making some crucial saves on that one, especially towards the end of the game.
100%. I got to give Gabe Greenfield a lot of credit for this one. The amount of saves that he was able to rack up, just an incredible game from him and a great defensive effort.
Some words being exchanged after the game. Hopefully that doesn't lead to anything more than what just happened there.
Yeah, it seems like mostly positive stuff. Seen a lot of handshakes, and I don't see anything, too malicious, as you could say. But what a great, just competitive game.
Yeah, really end-to-end stuff there for a little while. Really made it exciting to watch. Much better second half from the first one. Actually got to see a goal there and a couple more shots on targets from both teams instead of a more defensive half like it was in the first one.
Yeah, I think I said it like right when it happened, but it was going to be interesting to see if that one goal was the one that called it. And that's, it's not what happened, thank goodness. And, the Cougars, they played really well in that last 5 minutes. The Forester offense just continued to push and push and push, but the Foresters got that much-needed win. They take the lead in the overall series against St. Francis, can grab their win streak up to 4. It's gone back about a year, and so I think that's just a huge win for them to keep this moving along.
Yeah, and Huntington now improves to 2-0-2 as St. Francis drops down to 3-1-2. So I think that still gives St. Francis the lead in the league, but they're a game ahead.
Yeah, we'll have to see, and also what the Foresters have coming up. They got a couple of good games coming up as well, so that's going to be another really interesting type of dynamic with only 4 teams in each conference. Or each division, my apologies. It's just going to be really interesting to see how the rest of the season plays out as it's been reduced.
Yeah, such a different game from the last time they played, that 7-0 victory, from just an absolute destruction of St. Francis to a more subtle and defensive game.
Absolutely, and we're going to call it here. In a couple hours, we actually got women's volleyball against the defending volleyball national title in the Marion Knights. We'd love to see you there. We're going to first serve at 7, but for Carson Watkins, Kyle Shaw, and the entire FDN Sports crew, we'd like to thank you so much for coming out and listening to us today. Hope you have a great day.